Daydreaming for your retirement is not only fun, it's actually critical. Think about this. How can you plan for your retirement if you don't know what your lifestyle is going to be? That's why we turn now to Marcus Warren, a financial expert, author, radio talk show host, weekly guest right here on Great Day Live. You know, a lot of people, Marcus, need to think about, okay, what do I like? Do I like the early bird special? Do I like a five-star restaurant? Do I like a swanky country club? Do I like the public golf courses? I mean, why are those kinds of simple questions, why are they so important?
They're important because you have to have a plan going into retirement, especially when it boils down to finances. And the key thing is before retirement, if you have the answers to some of those questions before you retire, then you have a goal to save for. So while you're working, if you want to retire with the early bird special, you know what you need to save to do that throughout retirement. Same with the golf courses, anything that you want to do, you want to make sure that you have that plan before you retire.
So when people come into your office to get your advice and come up with a plan, do you have to remind them sometimes about these basic questions? Hey, what's your lifestyle going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. All the time. Because people are working, they're doing their day-to-day, and they're not really thinking about retirement. They have their 401k, their company retirement plan, and they're just putting money in, and then all of a sudden they're retired. And then that's when you have to remind them, okay, now what do you plan to do in retirement? How do you plan to spend the money? Because there's so many things. There's, Social Security. When are you going to take Social Security? At 62, 65, at 70? What about charitable giving? Are you going to give to charities? What are you going to do during retirement? Because a lot of times, and that's one of the biggest things, a lot of times people may have a plan for money, but they don't. But you have to plan for time, because now you need 8 to 10 hours to fill up the day, because you used to be working, and now all of a sudden you're at home, and you have to have that system for success, right?
What are you going to do with all that time? And then also people may want to know, how do I know that my money is going to go the mile? How do I know it's going to support the lifestyle that I want?
Well, there's generally three things that people need to be aware of. Number one is you have to factor how much money you're going to spend, and that requires doing things that people don't like to do, and that is to create a budget, right? You want to know how much money is coming in, because you have these guaranteed income sources. You have Social Security, maybe a pension, maybe not, and then you have your retirement expenses. And then there's generally a gap between those guaranteed income sources and that lifestyle you want to have. And so to fill that gap, you fill that gap with your 401k, your 403b, those company retirement plans. So that's when you need to start building that plan. The second thing is the fact that you have to determine, it's a little tough, but how long are you going to live in retirement, right? Of course, you don't know,
right.
But average life expectancy for a woman is about 85. For a man, it's about 80. And then you also need to think about family health history. So how long do people in your family live? And so all those factors go into determining the amount that you're going to need in retirement. And a lot of times it can be tough, but if you're working with a good fiduciary advisor, they can guide you along.
Well, I understand that probably one of your big steps that you take when you meet with somebody one-on-one is to talk about that retirement readiness review. What is that? What should people expect?
So a retirement readiness review is basically a sit down with me. We basically want to find out where you are, where you want to be, and then really we just want to develop that plan to get you there, because there's a lot of roadblocks and pitfalls that can happen in retirement, and we want to make sure that we navigate our clients through those.
All right. Thank you, Marcus. Well, thinking about what you're going to do in your retirement, what your lifestyle is, that's the first step in coming up with a master plan for retirement. Now, the second step is scheduling a retirement readiness review with Marcus. Here's the number to call for your complimentary appointment. It's 502-339-8255. You must be approaching retirement or already retired and have at least $250,000 in investable assets. Again, the number to call is 502-339-8255 for a complimentary retirement readiness review. You can also visit warrenwealth.net for more information.